How to keep the healing.
The journey to the ultimate desk setup never really ends. I'm always on the hunt for things to improve my setup bit by bit. I'll go over some of the recent upgrades that I've made and the accessories that I use day to day that make that work or gaming experience just a little better. If you're interested in anything you see here, I'll leave links in the description down below. I've been using the Kazaira cloth desk mat for over 3 years. While the surface has held up, the rubber layer underneath was starting to show some wear. Orbit Key very kindly sent the desk mat in for review, and I'll go over my impressions after using it for more than a month. It comes in 2 layers, a vegan leather surface with felt underneath. This gives it its unique design feature, a document hideaway, where you can put your documents and to-do lists. At the top, it has a compartment where you can put your pens or other stationery for quick access. It also comes with this cable organizer that clips on magnetically, very handy for keeping my keyboard cable in place. My only nitpick is I'm not a fan of how my gaming mouse, the G Pro Wireless, tracks on the vegan leather surface. It doesn't glide as smoothly as on a cloth pad. The mouse I use for productive tasks, however, the MX Master 3, works perfectly fine. Overall, I'd say this desk pad is best for productivity, but not so much for gaming. The next item on the list is a mechanical keyboard. Fair warning though, once you get into it, this rabbit hole goes deep. The typical progression for a keyboard enthusiast would be starting with your rubber dome membrane keyboard that you would normally find in your office. Then you might move on to a stock mechanical keyboard from a gaming brand like Razer and Logitech. Then you might start feeling like you want something a little more customized or something a little more compact. At this point, you might start looking at stock customizable mechanical keyboards from brands such as Keychron. In my case, I have the N Pro 2. These keyboards are good entry points into the mechanical keyboard hobby. They're very customizable, allowing you to change out the keycaps for a different look, the key switches for a different typing feel, and the case for different aesthetics and sound signatures. I have heavily modified my N Pro 2 with a walnut case, side-printed black keycaps, and Zelios V2 tactile switches. If you'd like to do this for yourself, you can very easily switch out the case by unscrewing the screw points and affixing it onto the new custom case that you can get from KBD Fans. To swap out the keycaps, it is as simple as taking them out by hand or with a keycap puller. If you're planning to change out the switches, however, it will require desoldering the old switches and soldering in the new switches. This can get tricky and tedious, especially for a newcomer. I made some mistakes and lifted some solder pads in my first attempt and needed to do some rewiring to fix the keyboard. The alternative is to get a hot swappable keyboard or go fully custom with a hot swap PCB like the DZ60. In this case, the switches can be easily swapped out without any soldering. I have all the parts for my own custom build, but I'll get to that in a future video. I use the Xiaomi Mijia screen light bar. The light bar reduces screen glare and allows me to work with my room lights turned off. It also shines a really nice gentle glow on the workspace, which just sets a warm and cozy work environment. What I really love about this one is that the light control is wireless, and the adjustment is simple. You just press to turn it on and off, turn the dial to adjust the brightness, or hold down and turn to adjust the warmth. Speaking of lighting, I've been using this cheap IKEA desk lamp, but instead of shining it in my workspace, I have it angled up towards my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma plant, so it casts these dramatic shadows on the wall that really add to the cozy vibes of the space. As I try to improve my content creation, I wanted to upgrade my old USB condenser microphone, the Samson C03U. The Samson Q9U is a dynamic microphone that connects via both USB and XLR. This makes it so that I can connect the USB to my laptop for work calls, while the XLR is connected to the PC via audio interface for sound recording and content creation. This dual function is also useful if you feel you're not quite ready to invest in an audio interface yet and want to use USB for the time being, but want the option to upgrade down the line. On my old mic, the C03U, I had to spend hours in audio post-processing software on noise reduction and to reduce my sibilance to get it to sound good. With the Q9U, my audio workflow has vastly improved. As a dynamic microphone, it has much better sound isolation to cut out the background noise, and the sibilance doesn't sound as harsh. To have your audio work over XLR, you need an audio interface, and the Focusrite Scarlett Solo is my choice for its reliable performance and relative budget friendliness. It has a really solid construction with a hard aluminum casing. My one gripe about this is that the red color does not quite fit the overall desk setup. I've mounted it underneath the desk using double-sided tape, where I have easy access to the gain and control knobs. It is a simple way to save space on my desktop. After I upgraded the mic, I found that the newer NB35 mic arm, which worked well enough for my previous mic, was really starting to buckle under the weight of the Q9U. The newer NB35 is rated for 1 kg of weight, and the Q9U is just below that at 0.97. I like to hang my headphones on top of it, and it can't really hold its position very well anymore and starts to shake and sway, which affects the sound recordings. I upgraded to the Rode PSA-1, which is significantly pricier than the NB35, but you get what you pay for. It's rated for 2 kg and it's extremely sturdy. The mic stays wherever you put it, and there's no swaying or creaking, so your recording stays consistent. The IKEA Skadis Pegboard is a versatile storage solution that also works as a wall decoration. Do note, however, that it requires drilling into your wall to set up, and it doesn't come with any screws. IKEA sells sets of hooks and accessories separately. These smaller hooks are good for controllers, while these larger right-angle hooks work well for my extra keyboards. This tray works for other miscellaneous things, and these elastic cords make good dividers. Paired with a cable holder, you can use them to set up a charging station for your phone or battery banks. Ever since I've set up the Pegboard, I've been experimenting with creative ways to hang my other items, and it's a fun way to change up the decor in my room. Now I have to admit, the stacked EKG electric kettle from Fellow isn't quite a desk accessory and probably belongs in a kitchen, but I've been watching James Hoffmann a little too much, and I've been inspired to set up a little coffee corner in my room with this as the centerpiece. It commands a premium price, but just look at this design. Its matte black finish, modern and minimalistic shape, in addition to the walnut wood handle and cap that's sold separately, come together to make it look incredible. Its electric base is minimal and really easy to operate. Just press once to turn it on and turn the dial to set your desired temperature. It will heat your water to the temperature within a minute. The pour rate is slow and smooth for pour-over coffee. I'm still collecting the rest of my coffee making kit and perfecting my own pour-over technique, but it has given me motivation to wake up in the morning to start my coffee making ritual. I'm curious to know, what are your favorite desk accessories that you can't live without? Leave me some suggestions on what I should check out in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.